Welcome. This message is for anyone who needs to hear this message. Spirit, what is the essential energy between this collective and their person, please? I am now shuffling the Angels Answers Oracle deck. If you'd like more information about any of the decks I'll be using in this reading today, please see the description field beneath this video. And we have improving health. Spirit, what else is in the third energy between the collective and their person, please? I am now shuffling the Spellcasting Oracle deck. Just laying out a few oracles to get a snapshot into the energy between you and your person. Then we will transition into a full tarot spread, followed by some further oracle card guidance, some message cards from your person's higher self to you. And we will close your reading out today also with the timeline oracle card. So if you'd like to know when, please stay tuned to the end. And we have fertility. Interesting. So when we combine those two together, there's a few different messages coming through. The first one is if you and your person are physically together and you've been experiencing fertility issues, I see that this is improving with greater self-care, with more rest, with rejuvenation, but potentially some paid time off, a vacation will help put you back in a more receptive mode whereby this is able to happen for the two of you. Now, for others of you, there's a fertility precaution that's coming through. So you might want to take the necessary precaution in the event you do not want to add to your family at this time. Spirit, what else is in their third energy, please? I am now shuffling the Romance Angels deck. We also have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So it seems like there are some health-related challenges that have been influencing this connection. Now, for some of you, this could also indicate some type of sexual dysfunction or sexual addiction or trauma that is needing to be healed. And we combine that with fertility. For others, this is a commentary on stress. And what's interesting here is I'm picking up, most people watching this channel will be in separation from a sacred partner, a twin flame or soulmate. But I'm picking up, for those watching this reading, this seems to be a connection that has physicalized. So this could be a soulmate that you've been on and off in an on and off relationship with, or your twin flame that you've been on and off in a relationship, physical relationship with. And I'm picking up on a strong energy of stress, creating a lot of triggering conflict and cycles of separation between you and your person. And there's a strong indication that more rest and downtime is needed, and that you may be asked to honor this, and particularly if you are encountering physical health related challenges. Often that can be an indication that we haven't caught on to the subtler cues that Spirit was trying to give us a long time ago. And since we kept neglecting our emotional and spiritual health, it is now somatized into a physical health related condition that we can no longer ignore. See? And so there's an energy here also of recuperation, rest, recovery. In the event you are in separation, there's a further message here about needing to take time out, perhaps go on some type of getaway to reconnect. And for some of you, it may have been very hard to get your busy schedules lined up too, in order for this to transpire. And especially for the feminine in the connection, if you have been trying to conceive, if you have a very high stress lifestyle, that may have also been contributing to these challenges that you've been experiencing. Let's move on and drill into this with some tarot now. So just focus on your person for me collective so that your intuition can merge with mine and we can get you the most timely, up-to-date, and accurate information. I'm working with 2 decks today, Colette Baron Reed's Good Tarot and also one of John Holland's decks. And I will be clarifying again with the Field Tarot this week. So Spirit, what surrounds the collective's person as it concerns the collective, please? What is he or she thinking? How is he or she feeling? Where is their connection headed? And what are the collective's person's next possible actions towards the collective, please? Okay, so the first card out we have is the Emperor, which is one of the divine masculine archetypes. So already what's coming through is we have a court couple here because fertility is kind of representing the Empress, even though that fertility came through as an oracle card in the beginning. When we combine fertility with the Emperor, we get Emperor, Empress. So that's a sacred couple. So that's already a strong confirmation that this is a twin flame sacred partner or soulmate, karmic soulmate connection. So I see that your person wants more with you. I do see that, again, I'm picking up on an energy of stress. One or both of you could have a very high-powered job. You could be a CEO. You could run your own company, for example. The Emperor will take action. He is one of the archetypes in the tarot that can and will commit. However, he does tend sometimes to suppress his emotions. He can have difficulty letting go. At the end of the day, he can have decompressive issues. I was picking up on that before. He's also someone that feels like there's a lot of responsibilities that are on his shoulders. So I'm also picking up on an energy for some of you. Your person may have a lot of responsibilities that predate this connection. I mean, for example, when you met, they could have already been a mother or a father. This is a specific message for some of them. The fertility related issues are not necessarily between you and your person. They could be between them and someone from their past. I'm picking up on an energy maybe of someone that had children at a very young age. Maybe it was an unplanned pregnancy, for example. Then they had to accept a lot of responsibility, potentially even marry this person if they were more traditional or religious. What is crossing the Emperor? Yeah, 7 of Swords. So there's something that's hidden here. This could be a hidden wound, a hidden trauma, a hidden addiction issue. There's a lot of different scenarios here. I'm tuning in to try to crystallize the messages now. Yeah, I'm picking up on an energy of deception. Now, some of them may have children that you don't know about. They could have a baby mama, or they may be a baby dada. It's funny how that always comes out when I give these readings. I can't. It sounds like babble when I say it. We have another Seven of Wands above them as it concerns you. And so that's the energy of a block. That's an energy of resistance, but it's also one of holding one's vision for one's life and realizing one's goals. When we combine that with the Emperor, they may have been putting you off for some hidden, not necessarily devious reason. Yeah, but there's something you don't know about them. There's something they haven't told you, or there's been something that they've been afraid to tell you. And that's interesting. There was a similar message that came through the short that I posted today about needing to muster the necessary courage to come forward and to admit to an addiction or hidden trauma from one's past. So you might want to have a look at that reading too, if this is resonating. Yeah, I'm gonna drill in with some clarifiers here because there's so many different scenarios here. Beneath them, we have Eight of Wands. So that is about communication. That's about action, movement, momentum. There's a communication they've been sitting on. There's something they want to say to you. There's an important conversation that the two of you need to have. What was coming through the oracle earlier was I was picking up on an energy of a retreat or romantic getaway. So I'm getting the sense that they need to have some type of private conversation with you. It needs to be away from others about whatever this is, whatever they've been hiding, lying about, denying, covering up, avoiding. And it could, for some of you, it might just be confrontation. It might just be something that ended badly in their past between them and a karmic partner that left them with relationship wounds and they weren't ready for something more with you. And then they started distancing because they got triggered. But for some of you, there's something else that's happened since you separated too. Now, I'm picking up on another energy here that for some of them, this could have something to do with shady business dealings or backstabbing in a professional capacity. I'm going to pull a few. I don't usually do this in these types of readings, but I'm going to just pull a few clarifiers on what the Seven of Swords is, because I'm just having trouble getting a read on what it is, and I'd like to be able to know what it is they're hiding from you. Besides a third party, that came through before. When we combine that with improving health, some of them could have a health-related condition. For some of them, it could be something like PTSD if they've been in the military, for example. They could be having nightmares about this. They may not be able to speak about it because the voice of trauma is fragmented, and they may need a professional facilitator to be able to work through that, is a message that's coming through for some of you, maybe just one or two of you. The improving health, that doesn't necessarily have to just be a physical health related challenge. In fact, we don't have any pentacles on the board here yet. And pentacles we would associate more with the body, the physical body. So this could be a commentary on your person's mental health and emotional well-being too. Okay, that was what was coming through when I asked to clarify, but now let's clarify with some field tarot. Spirit, please clarify the Seven of Swords as it concerns what is blocking, delaying, challenging the collective's connection with this person, please, with their person. Yeah, so we have Seven of Cups, choices, 7, 7, 7. So some of them, when that card comes out, that often can indicate that the negative polarity is treating the positive polarity like an option. So what they may not have been honest with you about is they may have been dating other people concurrently, or they may have ghosted you and continued to date other people. I'm picking up on an energy of something that was very, casual, very superficial. And maybe that was because that was all the emotional bandwidth or even time they had to invest in a connection at that time, at the time you met. And again, like, to go back to the Emperor, your person may work very long hours. I'm picking up now on an energy of someone that might work like a 60-hour week. Another clarifier on what the Seven of Swords is. Nine of Discs, but in the reverse. Culmination. Yeah, so that is often, that card is indicated with singledom, with a single lifestyle. Yeah, for some of them, they weren't ready to commit. And now I'm picking up on a strong relationship wound energy, where some of them may have gotten out of a marriage, then you came along and all the sparks were there and you got close, they caught feelings, but they just weren't ready for more. So they may have continued to casually date other people. So for most of you, that is what has been hidden. One more clarifier on this. The Chariot. So that has to do, that is very similar to the energy of Eight of Wands beneath them, with communication, action, momentum. I'm getting the sense, though, that as a clarifier, this can indicate that what they didn't want you to know is that they were unsure of their life direction. There were a lot of variables. There were a lot of unknowns at the time. They may have been afraid of the unknown. They may have been afraid if they got involved with you that they may, what I'm hearing is there's something, let me see, I'm having trouble articulating what is coming through right now, which feels like a clairsentient message. So, I'm hearing they weren't ready. It wasn't ready. But, yeah, something to do with life direction, purpose, not being clear of what it was. At the time, you were ready to move forward, but they were not. So there was a lack of alignment that caused a split between the two of you. Yeah, and I'm very drawn to this Chariot depiction. Has a white horse and a black horse, and they're not in alignment. They're looking both off to the other side. So I'm picking up on this tension between the two of you, where you just weren't on the same page. And they didn't, what I'm now hearing is they didn't want to bite off more than they could chew with you. So that is what has been hidden. Apparently it's not something more devious than that. But yeah, there is an energy here of casually dating other people, and they may have been casually hooking up with them too. Okay, behind them as it concerns you, with the Justice card in the reverse, yeah, some of them, when we combine that with the Emperor and the Seven of Swords again, and the Fertility card, it's a divorce that ended badly. They may have not been fully divorced from that person when you met them, however. Yeah, so there's a sense of imbalance. There was a sense of imbalance, you being ready, them not being ready. Them not being able to offer you what you were worth at the time. There's also, when we combine that with the Justice reverse with the clarifier Nine of Pentacles reverse too, what I'm getting is that they really needed that time to invest in themselves as well. And it was partly they needed that time to heal their relationship wounds from the other relationship, which may have been longer term, that which they were getting out of. So it's like there's a rebound energy. You may have been their rebound. And there may have been a succession of other people that they also had rebound flings with. But it didn't mean anything with these people. With you, it meant something. But there's been damage here. There's been hurt. There's been negative karma that has precipitated in the process. As of right now, I mean, it seems like they have something they want to say to you. They want to have a conversation to clear the air with you. It's not easy for them, though. Some of them may feel like they owe you an apology. Yeah, that came through in the short today as well. Forgiving, learning. Some of them may need to forgive themselves for what went wrong with you. Where is this headed? Yeah, there's a lack of clarity about how to proceed now. And then when we combine that again with chariot. There's the desire to move forward, but there's not the sense of where to go. So clarify the Ace of Swords as it concerns their next possible actions toward the collective, please. I'm also noticing here that we have 7, 7, and the 7 of the Chariots. We have 3 7s, so that might be a number sequence you're receiving. 7 rhymes with heaven. It's a very sacred number. It's associated with the crown chakra. So spiritual practices may be very helpful at this time for you and your person. It does help to harmonize your energy in the 5D. And it also helps with understanding and the integration of higher spirituality and innate wisdom. Okay, clarify the Ace of Swords as it concerns their next possible actions, please. Okay, we have 3 of Discs, works, which is 3 of Pentacles. It's in the reverse. Yeah, so when we combine that with the Ace of Swords, there's a sense of still not quite being on the same page with your person. And then, to go back to what I was getting in the beginning, there's this residual sense of stress, of pressure, of overwork, competing priorities. I'm picking up on this Emperor that feels, or it could be Empress, that feels very put upon by people that have demands, children that have demands, coworkers that have demands, clients that have demands. They may be burning the candle at both ends. There's a sense of disharmony, especially in the workplace. Within you, this is 3 of Pentacles can sometimes represent the 3rd energy in a relationship context too. So there's some static and resistance in your 3rd energy presently, and I'm really just attributing that to stress. And I've said this in other readings. I mean, somewhere Joe Dispenza points out in his work that if we're too stressed out, we don't have any energy left over to create something new. And that's the problem here with the Ace of Swords in the reverse. The clarity isn't there. There's just all this confusion. And I mean, now we finally did get a Pentacle card here. Well, we did have 9 of Pentacles too. And when we combine those with the improving health card, there's this sense of needing to take some time out to recharge one's batteries. But yeah, maybe not being able to do that together. It seems like there's the desire to do that together. And that could be an opportunity to have this difficult conversation between the two of you, but it seems like it needs to be away from other people. Yeah, that message was coming through earlier with the Three of Pentacles. It's giving a third factor. Three's a crowd type of energy, especially when we combine that again back with the Seven of Cups that came out earlier. Okay, another clarifier. What is the Ace of Swords reverse as it concerns the collective's person's next possible actions, please, toward them? And we have Princess of Cups, dreams, Page of Cups. So that, what's interesting is the first thing that's coming through off of that card is apology. That page can be specifically associated with an apology. And again, that came through. That might be what this conversation is about. They might want to apologize for their behavior in the past. And the pages can represent a message. Some of them are unsure if that's the right approach, though. Some of them feel like they need to have something more tangible than just an apology to offer you, but they don't know what that is yet, with that Ace of Swords being in the reverse. Anything else about this, please? Some of them, yeah, now we're getting rest. Four of Swords, rest. That kept coming through. It's interesting that they are now confirming that with the card there. So especially with Four of Swords, that means needing to take a vacation, needing to take some time out, some time off. For some of them, with the Page of Swords, if they have children, it could be time out to spend with their children, particularly if they've been working those long 60-hour weeks. Yeah, again, the strong energy also of needing to carve out some time for the two of you to spend together and work things out. They want to work things out. They want to come to some kind of creative compromise, resolution. They hope you will accept their apology if you feel like you are owed one, especially with the Justice card being in the reverse behind the two of you. They may have done you wrong. Let's move on now and get you some further Oracle card guidance. Let's see. Just having a glance at my different decks here. Let's go with the Island Time Wellness deck. Spirit, what else does this collective need to know about their person or about their connection, please? 3 messages from this deck. Okay, and we have separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of future. Okay, so some of you have been in separation. You know, it's interesting. In the beginning of this reading, I was picking up on a connection that was more physically manifested, or where there had been cycles of on again, off again between the two of you. And certainly with that Seven of Cups that came through, that could have been the case. I mean, this could have started as a hookup that ended because of another hookup or another rebound. But I do see that they're missing you if you are indeed still in separation. Yeah, so it says unsure of the future. And that was also coming through as to why they were experiencing commitment phobic. Yeah, with that commitment phobia, excuse me, with that Chariot card, unsure of the future. And you know, the future is always uncertain. It's always unknown. It's interesting when that becomes an excuse. That can often indicate an anxiety disorder. So that, yeah, that came through before with improving health. Your person may have an anxiety disorder for some of you. What else, please? Another message. Okay, twin flame. So some of you are getting the twin flame confirmation, yin yang. Zen, balances, union, duality, coupling, complement each other. And yeah, and so that's also very much like the black horse and the white horse in the Chariot card. I mean, they do look like a yin yang. What else do they need to know, please? About their person or about their connection? Self-indulgence. Focus on self, self-work, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. Okay, so that, especially when we combine that with the fertility card, collective, you know, that can be a further message for you, just a piece of advice to help with embodiment practices. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you are looking to conceive necessarily. I mean, if that applies to you, then certainly you can take that advice to mean that this is a commentary on fertility in the sense of attractiveness and manifestational potential, latent potential. So embodiment work, grounding practices can be helpful. They help attune, activate the sacral chakra. And especially if you're in a twin flame connection, it's very important for chakras 1, 2, 3 to be cleared and balanced, harmonized. You know, we can associate those lower 3 energy centers more with the earth. And with these types of spiritual connections, they have a tendency to stay non-physical. And that is because 99% of any manifestation is non-physical. Only 1% of what we see on this green earth is physical. So really that's a commentary on the life cycle of a manifestation. So it's like you only see it at the very end, right? So it's like you could be a lot closer to manifesting a physical union with your person than you may be aware of. Collective is why I went off on that tangent. And certainly that's also a further message of healing for both of you. Not only is this about embodiment and self-care on a personal level, and we do that in separation. That's what twin flame separation is for, really. But there's a further message that you need to do that in your third energy. Yeah, okay, so this is another specific message that's coming through. So for some of you, sexual healing may be very cathartic for both of you too. That may be a very deeply bonding and soulful experience. Especially if you haven't had that experience with your person before. And that may also allow them to open up to you more about what has happened. For some of them, they may also have addiction issues, wounds, traumas that they haven't been able to share with anyone. And there's something here about an emotional unburdening, that some type of sexual, potentially tantric experience helps facilitate for you. It's like what I'm hearing is it's like a session that there's a movie I think called The Sessions that is about this. Okay, let me move on and get you some messages from their higher self now. I'm using especially since we got the twin flame confirmation card there. I'm going to use this twin flame light and shadow message deck of Liv Tarots now. What would the collective's person's higher self wish to say to them, please? What would they wish to say to them? Okay, that's too many, Spirit. Just give me 3 messages, please. Trying to keep the time of this reading down, because I feel like some of these readings have gotten a little on the long side. So let's just go with 3 messages, please. Just 3. There were too many that came out. Now none are coming out. Okay. Here's one. All right. I long for you, but I can't express it. I'm trying to heal my childhood wounds so I don't hurt you again. Yeah, so for some of them, that 7 of Swords energy, it goes all the way back to childhood. You know, perhaps some of their parents had fertility issues. You know, perhaps some of them didn't want another sibling or something like that too. Perhaps they felt dethroned when their parents added to their family growing up, for example. Yeah, as I'm feeling into that, I don't feel like they've spoken to anyone about that, whatever that is, collective. And it might be a lot, you know, it might just be a very dysfunctional home they grew up in. What else would they like to say to the collective, please? Another message. Life feels empty without you by my side. You were my everything and I pushed you away. Yeah. Yeah, they may have pushed you away for another empty or meaningless casual connection with someone else. And that could have created a lot of negative, hurtful karma between the two of you. But what we see is that their need to keep themselves safe and avoid deeper intimacy with you stems from childhood. Okay, some of them may have insecure attachments, picking up on an avoidant bonder here. You know, for some of them with the Empress there, this could be a commentary on you kind of serving as their healer, as all the feminine archetypes rolled into one. And if you are indeed twin flames pretty much as their divine feminine, that's who you are to them. And that is pretty scary if they haven't experienced that before. I'm picking up on an energy, especially it's like I'm seeing this little figure on this card. They're kind of all pulled into a little ball. It's as if they've never received any special consideration from anyone before until you came along. And as Marianne Williamson has observed, it's not our fears that scare us the most, it's our light. So suddenly it was like you were shining your spotlight upon them, and that was frightening. That was frightening. So that's why they pushed you away. Like in a spiritual sense, of course. It's not like they would have been conscious of that, right? Because all the light does is it just bounces off our triggers, which are dense kind of clusters in our energy field. Okay. One further message, please, from their higher self, person's higher self to the collective. And I have lost faith that real people exist. People have lied to and cheated on me. I'm afraid to open my heart now. Yeah, so again, that Seven of Swords is really prominent in this reading. It means so many different things. But, you know, what I'm seeing is that from the very start, it's like their parents lied to and cheated on them. Their family did in some way, and then, you know, they had a karmic partner that maybe wasn't faithful, that betrayed them. Yeah, so they've got some pretty deep-seated trust issues, is what I see. All right, let's go ahead and close this reading out with some timeline oracles. Spirit, when can this collective expect a shift in this connection, please? With the Eight of Wands and the Page of Cups, we do see that communication is possible. A clarifying conversation with that Ace of Swords in the reverse, potentially. We were picking up on a strong energy of some type of getaway that could be therapeutic in terms of communication, but also potentially for sexual healing is what came through. Okay, so when can they expect this to happen, please? 1, 3, or 4 of these. So the first one is in summer. It came out in the reverse. Well, we are still in the summer season. So before the summer is over is how I'm going to take that to mean. So for some of you, it could still happen pretty soon. So 7 was prominent. We're no longer in the 7th month. We're in the 8th month. We do have an 8 of Wands. So it could be before the month is over. Another timeline, please. In autumn. Okay. So if it's not by the end of summer, then it will be by early autumn, since autumn came up upright. That's funny. And let me see. We didn't have the Hermit come out. Hermit could indicate Virgo season. Let's look at other zodiac signs here. We have Cancer is represented by the Chariot. Justice, okay, Libra. Yeah, so there's Libra energy. It's not necessarily going to be in September, but it could be by October for those where the autumn timeline resonates. Okay, one further timeline, please, for others watching this video. Okay, it happens when you release your resistance. It came out in reverse. Yeah, so I was picking up on some static resistance in the third energy between the two of you. I think I said that at some point earlier. And so really what that means is, how I experience that in my own twin flame connection is, it's kind of like anytime you feel a sense of judgment or frustration toward your twin, you need to find a way of releasing that if you want to continue to choose this person. That's kind of just what it's saying here. Also on self-indulgence, focus on yourself. It does say shadow work. So you can think of that as shadow release work. Because in order for this to come together, you can't be in judgment. You have to be able to forgive each other fully. So that means at the micro level, every time it comes up, you need to find some way of letting it go, releasing it, and getting back into a state of surrender. And then that's what, with the fertility card here, to go back again to that, it makes you more magnetic to your person and more magnetic to union, physical union, twin flame union. All right. Thank you, collective.